Hi everyone. Um, so one of this came up during my work with the client today, and the topic was: do you believe in um, life after we leave this world, after we die? So I shared a story which I want to share with you. And here's the story. So I lost both of my parents in my late teens and early 20s, both of them separately. So when my mother passed away in India, I was in Toronto, Canada, going to school. So I wasn't anticipating that she would leave. Being a young person, I also didn't understand the whole thing about death or what it would mean and how would I cope with it. So, anyways, what happened is that I did not go. And my mother, for days on end, she cried for me. So, there was a lot of grief during that time. And I somehow, reasoned with it. I understood it. I wasn't anticipating, I wasn't thinking along those lines, as young kids we don't understand the seriousness of life sometimes, and I didn't know what that meant. So anyways, what happened was, after my mom passed, I made peace with it. There was a lot of grief, but I made peace with it, and I thought that this was okay. But one of the things that happened, that nonstop I would see my mom, or I would be searching for her. I would have dreams of like that I'm flying or fluttering around in the ruins, and I'm flying high and low. And many of these dreams were very lucid. Like I was so aware of them that I know the details of those dreams even now. Even when I took a nap, I would end up just like I was searching high and low for my mom. But I just let it be because it became part of my being. I just remembered that I wasn't 100% in this world. Like part of me was searching for my mom, but I didn't know that. So, um, because it was such a normal thing, it became a normal part of my day. So I didn't pay attention to it. So what happened on some day, I must have been really missing her or something. I have no idea. But I had a dream, and that dream continued on for 4 days. So I'll tell you the dream. So on the first night, uh, I was getting prepared, and then my bed got lifted, and I kind of went through like a speed of light through a dark tunnel, and all of a sudden I bump against like a ceiling that I was supposed to go through, but I couldn't go through. So it's like there is a hand through the ceiling who's trying to pull me up, but didn't pull me up. And then the same thing happened again. I came back and I was taken again. And this time, and I'm like, I felt that it was my mom. So I kept on saying, Mom, come on, pull me up. So I got pulled up, and then I entered into the space. It looked like a paradise, like a palace. I think our imagination kind of the dreams show up like we imagine things so we can understand it, I guess. So, anyways, when I entered, I was awestruck. I was very slowly looking around, and I even saw my sister who had passed away. She looked like a princess, but there was like no age. She was just ageless. Like there was no expression on the face, but she became like there was like a very young face without any expression. So I'm slowly, slowly moving up the corridor, and I get pulled into the left side. I sense a room. The room has a very thick wooden door, and it felt like that my mom was inside the room. So there's a little crack open, and she's trying to come out. But outside the room, my dad is sitting. on a chair, and it's like he's guarding her. And he didn't let me go in. So I look at my dad and I thought, Dad, and I give him a hug, and there was no reaction from him. But I got the sense that there was my mom in there and I didn't get to see her. The dream ended. I revisited the dream during my waking moment so many times to try to make sense of it. But I had this unfulfilled desire that, gosh, there was my mom on the other end. I didn't see her. So I thought nothing, I kind of went along with my day and went to sleep. And the second day, it was again me searching for my mom. So it's like I was flying amongst the ruins, really high up and low, really fast. And it's like I'm looking for something. Then all of a sudden, from a distance, I see on this corridor below that there are a bunch of like maidens. They're dressed in blue, something on their head, like a cap maybe, and they're doing something, folding. I whoosh down and I get the sense that my mom is there. So I go next to the hallway and I'm standing there, like I'm standing there holding my breath, thinking she's going to be here any minute. And then there she comes. My mom comes. Again, she looks very young, no expression on her face. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's my mom. I found her, but she didn't see me. So again, this continued on the second day, and I'm thinking, yeah, I saw my mom, but she didn't see me. So the third dream was, I think the third dream was something very similar. Like I'm flying over my home in India, and I'm trying to like come through or peek through the window because I notice my mom, but I don't get in again. So it just continues to kind of magnify my soul's desire that I didn't even know I had. I thought I had made peace with it. So fourth night, I end up on the rooftop of my home that I grew up in India. And there used to be cots that we would rest or lay down on in the afternoon. And so my mom is laying on that cot under a blanket. So it looks like there's somebody under there, but her face is outside. I go running over and I just go hug her. So we hug and I tell her, I told her, where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. So I hugged her and then she just kind of slipped away. And after that, I stopped searching for my mom during my dreams, during nighttime. And so I don't know. I don't know if my parents, I think that they are back again, living some life. But so the question was, do people, when we die, are we just done? That's not my experience. And so my experience feeds into my knowing and belief that no, we go on. What dies is the body. The soul does not die. So, I did meet my mom. And one thing, another continuation of that. So 6 or 7 months after, I am in my home in Michigan. My assistant Jennifer is with me. She's an artist. And we were doing an open house. So I told her, I said, Jennifer, go ahead and you draw all the boards and the signs for the open house. And we had Sufi music on. Sun is coming in. It's like early spring. And the music is blasting. We're dancing. She's doing her drawings. And I'm just getting organized for the open house. All of a sudden, I get this phone call. And the voice on the other end says, we have this Sufi saint coming from London. He's traveling all over US to all the yoga studios to offer his blessings and love. Would you like to host him? And I said, yes. And after I hung up the phone and I thought, I'm a small yoga studio. My yoga studio was out of my walkout. And there's so many big yoga studios, and they find me. And so I said yes. I used to write for a local Milford newspaper, so I wrote announcing that with the article that, hey, by the way, there's going to be a Sufi saint at my studio to offer his blessings. Please join. So the day comes when he was to come to my studio. He came with some of his disciples. My neighbors were looking, it's like, because they were dressed in a different way. And when he comes in, so the Sufi saint was short, fudgy guy, red cheeks. He looked like a Santa Claus. So he comes in and he's in my living room. His hand is on the couch and I'm standing there. He looks at me and he goes, "This is your home?" Like my dad would ask in a proud way, like, this is your home? You created this? And this is your studio? And I said, yes. Right then and there, he gives me this big bear hug and he just holds me. So it felt like a father's hug. A lot of people came, close to 50 people came to the studio to get his blessings. And after everybody had left, he started singing me hymns, like the things that I used to, they're chants and meditation chants that I used to wake up to in the morning in India. He held my hand. I sat on the floor. He sat on the chair, and he put a pillow under his feet because he was short. So he held my hands and he sang to me, just me. And they were just his disciples, me. I think my son was there, Jennifer was there, and everybody had left. And so I felt that hug he gave me was the hug from my dad, who didn't hug me when I saw him. But I do know that after the dreams and with the Sufi saint, I really felt so much at peace. My home felt like it was washed. The energy was so clear and pure. And just to, go in the studio again after he had blessed it, it just felt surreal. It just felt so serene and so pure and so clean. So the moral of the story is that my experience tells me that when we have, sometimes our soul's desire is not necessarily known to us. With the intellect, we ration things. We make logical sense of things because we got to go do life. You get busy with life and we think that we have dealt with it. But our subconscious, things like our soul's desire, it's hidden. We don't even know it. So mentally, I may have made peace with the fact that I wasn't there when my mom passed, but at the soul level, I was not at peace. And so through the dream state, through the lucid dreaming, I was able to meet my mom and dad and find peace. So that is the story. And so that's why it's important to connect to our soul. It's important to know what's really our deeper truth, because whether we know it or not, it actually operates our life. So that is, I also talk about that in my new book. The new book is Wake Up and Heal. I talk about the soul. And this is why I've created the Soul Journey, a spiritual mentorship program for a year. Because until we are truly aligned with our deeper knowing and deeper truth, part of us is not fully present in this life. That's my experience. So I hope that story had some meaning for you. And if it did, let me know. Let me know if you had similar experiences in the comments below. I would love to hear. All right. Thank you so much.